Well, found an awesome deal at Target today.
Yeah, but by the time this posts, nobody else is going to be able to take advantage of it.
No, but
I don't feel bad.
gonna get a board game for cheap.
For like 20% off, which is huge. Oh, and then a 25% off coupon that stacks on top of that. So, I don't know, like a lot off of a board game.
Well, I think I'll get the two grown boys each their own copy of Monopoly so they can ruin their own relationships.
Yeah, we're going to buy them each a copy of Monopoly and a folding table. What do you need that for? To flip? I don't know what we're going to get for the girl yet.
You know, I just realized we can't post this.
Why?
Because we just told everybody what their Christmas presents would be.
You really think the kids do you really think the kids pay attention or watch our stuff?
Tyler does.
Yeah, does he though?
I don't know, he says he does.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
There you go.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that now. And what's the best part is on Christmas, he's gonna be like, I'm getting Monopoly. And then he's gonna open it and it's gonna not be Monopoly. And I'm gonna be like,
Tyler gets Risk.
Tyler gets Risk. I don't know. Tyler will get something. So, it's the middle of October. You know what the middle of October means, right? Christmas wrapping. Yeah, we're doing presents. You see, in my house, Christmas is like the best 3-month holiday of the year. At least, that's my take on it. Anyway, in a recent video, a bunch of folks noticed that, well, I went through a whole bunch of weirdness and I lost a bunch of weight. And I want to point out that one, not only was that not sustainable, but two, it's not something I highly recommend anybody does. But let me tell you how I did it, because I know a lot of people really want to know. So, step one was my diet. Everything that I ate went into MyFitnessPal. I made sure that I knew exactly what was going into my body. Wow, Garen, that sounds healthy. It's really not. It's just so that I knew how many calories I could play around with. Now, I didn't eat breakfast. I was on a 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule, which means I didn't eat after 7. And I didn't start eating until 11, which means I skipped breakfast. And I got really comfortable with the idea of drinking a lot of coffee and a lot of water. I learned all about the insulin response and about how I couldn't add creamer to that coffee because, well, that would have kicked off an insulin response. And if that happened, my body's not burning fat. Now, lunches were usually going to be a no-cook meal prep box, which we did a whole video on those. So if you want to go see them, you can. And those came in around 400, 500 calories maybe. And then I would do a 700 calorie dinner. So I'm sitting right about 1,200 calories per day. Now, I didn't drink any of my liquid calories because, well, it's real easy to go from 150 calories for a little bit of apple juice to suddenly realizing you've killed 3,000 calories because, hey, milkshakes are a thing. So I was very careful about the food that I actually put into my body. The second was workouts. Now, you might have heard me say that you can't actually outrun a bad diet. And I want to point out how excruciatingly true that is. You cannot outrun a bad diet. But what you can do is you can do workouts that are tallying 2, 3, 4, 800 calories over the course of 1 to 2 hours. And that's what I was doing, is I was putting in about 2 hours a day working out. I'd do an hour on the treadmill before I broke my fast in the mornings, and then I would do an hour's worth of workouts spread throughout the day. And I would change those workouts in order to not plateau. So some days I'd run, other days I'd bike, sometimes I would do a ruck march. And yeah, I did a lot of working out, 2 hours a day. I sweat a lot. Now, the fallout from that was a lot of physical pain. Not like I tore something pain, but I was just sore. For like 2 months straight, I was sore. Every single day I was in a bathtub with Epsom salts, or no Epsom salts, and basically just trying to get my muscles to not hurt. And it's because I was putting in a lot of effort. I was running. And when I was doing that, well, yeah, I saw a lot of personal gains, and I went from 3 miles an hour up to being able to run at a 7, and that was a really big deal. I went to Disney, and I picked up, took the family down, and I rebounded. I rebounded almost 10 pounds. Now, a rebound is expected. A rebound is normal, especially when you go to Disney and you eat like a garbage truck. That's going to happen. But the big thing that you need to realize is that while a rebound is to be expected, if you want to avoid it, you can't continue to eat like a garbage truck. If you want the change to stick, you actually have to be willing to make the change and let the change be there. But yeah, the rebound was something that happened, and I expected it. So as long as you realize that you have to keep on keeping on, and you can't shift back to being a garbage disposal, then you'll figure it out. Now, the big trick here is none of this was sustainable. And Andrea will tell you and me and really everyone that sustainability is key to a lot of what we're doing. So what you're seeing, and even in this video, is we're attempting to be more sustainable in how we behave. I'm not exercising for 2 hours a day. I'm exercising for 1. My meals are not limited down to 1,200 calories over the course of a day. It's closer to 1,800. We're eating foods that are, well, they're good for you, and I'm not eating the bare minimum. So if I want to have a piece of candy, I can. If I want to have a can of soda pop, then I will. Just be sure to track it and operate accordingly. And so MyFitnessPal is still a big part of my life. So is iTrack Bites. We use them both. This isn't an event. It's a process, and you have to keep going. I'm glad I did it. I'm going to keep doing it. I mean, a little more controlled, but it's doable and it's manageable. So jump on board, maybe. Tell me what you think. Throw it in the comments down below. beneficial. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, that was a week of movement. You're not your mother.
Did you start recording?
Oh yeah, it's been going for a minute or two.
Hopefully this isn't too loud.
No, it'll be fine. So we're going to talk to somebody different for just a couple of minutes. This is Lily. Hi Lily, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Fantastic. So little Miss Lily here had homecoming.
Woo, homecoming.
Yesterday.
It was good. It was
so
fun.
that's what? Is that like a movie or?
You know what homecoming is. It's just a high school dance. It's when the home football team comes home to play their first game.
So it's not like a camping trip in the mountains or a dinner or something.
Oh yeah, we did go on a dinner.
There was a dinner, wasn't
we went to a
there?
dinner. My beloved father took me because nobody asked me to go to homecoming.
I thought girls were supposed.
Great.
No, that's Sadie Hawkins. Never mind. I don't know things. I'm not a smart man. I never claimed to be.
But yeah, it was good. It was fun. We went to Maggiano's.
We did.
Yes.
If any of you are like, I want to eat something healthy and something light and something mildly satisfying, the sun just disappeared.
Don't go to Maggiano's.
Don't go to Maggiano's. What did you have?
Me, I had Alfredo noodles with salmon.
What was interesting about the actual event, the dinner itself? Did we just throw on our tennis shoes and go, or what?
No. We got fully dressed up. I got dressed up for homecoming. Do you have any pictures of it?
I might, and
you should put one up.
I'm going to. They can see it right now, is what it is. But
okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I went out in full regalia, and
thank you for your service.
Oh my goodness, thank you for your support. Which that was entertaining, but yeah. Okay.
It was funny.
You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to replace you with your mother.
Oh, you should snap.
You're not Andrea.
I'm not.
Okay, one more track.
But I am your new wife.
Oh no! Oh, that's better.
Hayden called today.
He did.
He did.
He was crying. No, he wasn't.
No, he actually sounds really good. He sounds like he's been screaming for weeks.
He has been.
And that's the other side of things is I have people talking to me now like crazy because we're all in this boat together. Whereas usually I'm very antisocial.
Yeah, I hate people. 15 years later is all this took. We finally found the disconnect. I know what it is that I'm thinking I'm doing and why she's always getting mad at me. It turns out that I've spent 15 years trying to encourage this lovely lady to move more, be healthy, go for a run. Don't run if you hate running, do something else. Exercise. And then she'd get mad at me. You're not supportive, you're not encouraging. And why is that? What was it I was supposed to be motivating you to do?
To make better food choices.
So I was all about the let's get up, let's go, let's do. And it turns out what she really wanted was for me to motivate and encourage better food choices. Knowing that I motivate movement and that you would rather I motivate food, that allows me to be able to change the way that I am motivating to be able to push you to make better choices and decisions.
I think that I go off the deep end a lot too. I think that, I look at something and I say, I'm going to do this thing. And then I'm going to do it all the way perfectly, non-food related. I was going to play Factorio. That's a game about a factory. Factory must grow.
Factory must grow.
I want to know how to make everything. I want to know how much space I needed.
You decided to min-max it.
I spent probably 3 weeks learning to play a game that I beat in 6 hours. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is a terrible way to live. I could not do that. Okay, so knowing that, you're reading a book right now, aren't you?
I'm trying. Jeez, hold on.
There she goes.
I'm reading this book because my sister-in-law, when I said I wanted to lose weight, recommended Dr. Jason Fung.
Okay, well, yes.
And he was like, I have a book.
Okay, what's the other book you're reading?
The other book I'm reading is called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat.
What does that one talk about?
This one talks about how to cook good food.
We like
it's not a
food.
recipe book, although there are a couple recipes in here.
It teaches you how to cook.
Teaches you how to cook.
Okay, so the reason I asked if you were reading books right now, because I knew you were reading these books, but you played Factorio, right?
Yes, I did.
And Factorio, you spent 3 weeks learning how to beat this game, and then you sat
6
down
hours
and
beating it. Yep.
cranked it out in 6 hours. So what you're doing right now is you're essentially spending your 3 weeks learning how to beat the game.
I am going to continue to try to move forward in weight loss, as I have been for a whole year now, by going back to the very beginning, yet again, and looking at my habits.
Yes.
I did what you wanted me to do this week. I went outside and I walked
Yep, and they saw the video of it a minute or 5 ago.
And I rode the bike 2 days, although one of them was very short-lived because, oh, my poor little bottom.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because I already talked about what I did to be like, watch this free fall nonsense happen.
How you doing this week?
I'm actually holding steady.
Good job.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to track our food every single day. Point number 2, we're going to cut all liquid calories, with the exception of Friday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then we're gonna talk about weight loss numbers next week. So anything that we did this week, or next week, or last week, or whatever the case may be, how much did you gain? How much did you lose? Doesn't matter, we'll tell you next week.
I'll tell you what right now. This attempt, if it doesn't stick, I might hire a professional.
I don't want to pay for that. This better work.
I don't want to pay for that either, but like, I can't keep gaining weight. I'm almost 300 pounds. This is getting critical.
Yeah, freaking fix it.
Yeah, if it was as easy as that, right, world? If it was as easy as, oh, you don't like it, change it. Don't you think I would have by now?
Well, let's see if this works.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. It's frustrating. This is hard. I hate this.
All right, well, here's hoping for better days ahead because I feel like I've been doing this for
a year.
A whole year.
Here's hoping. All right, I'm not even gonna try and be funny at the end of this 'cause this was a rough one. We'll see you next week. Hopefully things are going better then.
Bye.